We'll do Taylor now from Florida, asking, how does an ETF work? Here's a quote from Investopedia. Unlike stock mutual funds, stock ETFs have lower fees and do not involve actual ownership of securities. So how can there be any correlation with a stock index or a basket of stocks if the ETF does not own the stocks?
That's a great question, Taylor. And I would say I probably don't agree with that statement from Investopedia because, what an ETF is it's an exchange-traded fund, and it typically has a passive strategy. So basically, we have several ETFs on our list, and I'll just give you an example of what one of them does. So an ETF has some rules. It says these are the things that we're going to invest in. These are the filters that we're going to use, and the fund is actually going to purchase shares of stock or whatever the security might be. We'll just use the example of stock based on this criteria. So we're going to look at, first, they have to be domiciled in the U.S. Second, they have to be the largest companies in the group that we're looking at. Then they may have a requirement that once we get those, we're going to say that they have to have 4 quarters of positive earnings. And then they might throw on another requirement, and then they're going to say, out of all of those that make the cut, ours say they have to be biblically responsible. That's the first filter. And then they might say, we're going to take the 100 highest dividend paying stocks through all of those filters. So what the ETF is made up of is those 100 stocks. And twice a year or however many times a year, their rules say they're going to throw all of those eligible securities back through those filters again. And whatever comes out at the bottom, they're going to, sell the things that don't make the cut, and they're going to buy the things that do make the cut. So I see ownership there. If you own shares of that ETF, it's not like maybe an annuity contract where you're just paid a certain rate of interest based on what an indice does. The fund actually owns the ETFs. So if you own the ETF, you are a part owner in each of those companies. And that's how I see things from a biblically responsible standpoint as well, and how we would, vet those out for biblically responsible activity. So I guess if that's the quote from Investopedia, I kind of disagree with that.